animated movies are often seen as if they are specifically made for children to watch. And I think that a lot of people view anime the same way. But the target audience of anime isn't children, it's everyone. Once you start watching anime, you will soon realize the amount of different worlds, characters and stories that you will find. Anime isn't made for a niche market. And the best way to see this is to look at how popular anime has become in the recent years. Take for example the movie Demon Slayer Mugen Train Arc. This anime movie was the highest grossing movie in the entire world in 2020, raising the most money of that year with the lowest budget of any top movie. One of the contributing factors to the latest success of anime is the addition of 3D studios helping out the 2D anime studios with the creation of their movies and series. In recent years, a lot more 3D studios keep appearing in credits of animes. So, have you ever wondered how much of a show that you're watching has actually been animated in 3D? Let's start at the beginning. 3D animation opens up possibilities that are impossible for normal cinema to pull off. You have seen it happen a lot in the last few years. Great characters in great movies that run or jump in a way that catches your eye for just a second and throws you off. These moments are often created by CGI or visual effects. And I'm not here to say that CGI or visual effects are bad. They are definitely not. They're actually absolutely amazing. But what I want to say is that anime can get away with a lot more strange and unrealistic events. We don't perceive anime as being real. So when one of the main characters does something that defies the laws of physics, it will be perceived as a memorable moment instead of being perceived as unrealistic. In today's day and age, more and more animation studios are starting to use 3D software in their animation process. Some things are easier to recreate in 3D than using 2D animation. For example, environments. But don't get confused here. Environment artworks like these will always be faster to make in 2D than in 3D. I'm specifically talking about a few different types of environments. The first type of environment are large-scale background environments that are moving. These would be incredibly time-consuming to animate by hand because of overlapping objects which can cover parts of the scene that will be visible once the camera has moved. Besides that, recreating the changing but correct perspectives of the moving objects seen from the camera would also be very time-consuming. To get more into detail about how these moving scenes are made, first, the 3D background environment needs to be created. To give you an idea of how this is done, I will recreate a very simple background environment in Blender. Once all the buildings are made and the 3D camera has been animated to move, the 2D character animation can begin. And once the 2D character animation is done, you can just simply overlay it on top of the 3D camera animation and the final scene will be done. The second and last type of environment that is often made using 3D are places with a lot of screen time. For example, classrooms or living rooms. The reason why these places are often made using 3D is because in a 3D scene, changing the camera is very easy. It is often in these places that there are a lot of different camera angles to get close-ups of all the characters in a room so that you're able to see their emotions. By making these types of rooms in 3D, you don't have to draw them over and over again, which saves a lot of time and prevents continuity errors. Having a 3D scene also opens up the possibility to have complex camera moves such as this one. Besides large-scale environments, 3D can also be used for smaller objects or models. 3D models can be rotated to the correct angle and animated to align with the 2D animations. 3D models often have a level of detail that would be hard to recreate in 2D. Not only this, but when animating in 2D, you are basically trying to recreate a 3D object. So, why wouldn't you just use a 3D model instead? By letting 3D artists help with the previous mentioned subjects, 2D artists can use their time to completely focus on other things, such as character animation. Speaking of character animation, 3D has been helping out here as well. Let's say you want to create a fight scene, but you have no proper experience or idea of what a real fight would look like. In this case, you would search for and look at reference videos. But animating based on a simple video as reference is hard. Instead of doing that, in today's day and age, you can have two people wear motion capture suits that record and capture the exact movements of the actors and translate them into a 3D animation. Now you have a 3D fighting animation, which means that you can look at the fight in 3D or from all different angles. This of course makes for great reference material, and you can animate the characters on top of the 3D animation. You can make character animation even simpler. If you have a 3D fighting animation, you can create a 3D model of the character and make the character's model move with the 3D animation. This way, the movements of the characters will automatically be much more realistic than when animated by hand. This is also how 3D crowd animations are made. But there's a problem here. Even if you have a 3D character with fully realistic movements, the character may look fake or stand out in the scene. Anime is still very much animated in 2D by hand. This makes adding a realistic 3D character difficult. Finally, I want to address the fact that there has been a lot of outrage about fake-looking 3D environments, objects and characters in anime. My personal opinion is that implementing 3D into an otherwise entirely 2D area of work is still a good thing. If you look at anime from a couple of years ago, you can easily identify the 3D that has been used. But today, that becomes harder and harder. So just like how 2D animation is progressing and becoming better and better, 3D is also becoming better in staying unnoticeable while still being helpful to the 2D artists. But yes, anime should not go fully 3D. There should be a point to which 3D can be used in anime, while still preserving the original 2D hand-drawn elements and feel. The reason why I think anime can still benefit from 3D is that, just like I mentioned before, 3D artists can take workload off of the 2D artists' shoulders. And because of this, 2D artists can focus more on creating cool and good looking animations.